It's going to be a standoff, huh?
Coach, talk about the game. And did UCLA do anything that you weren't expecting?
No, they didn't, honestly. And not to take anything away from UCLA, they played a good match and came out on top. But it was kind of a ugly match because neither team could get their offense going, and I think that's fatigue. What I see, this is third match in 5 days for both teams, and both of us came back from the Arizonas this weekend, and UCLA is not at home, but they're across town. It's not a hard trip, and I thought it was a strange match. I was looking at the numbers, and they've got 4 people in double figures, but they hit 139. We usually would win 3-0, holding teams to 139, and yet we didn't score. The first set, we get off to that nice lead, and then just seemed to lose focus. And probably we'll look back on this after a while, which we can't do that right now, and think this was a pretty good opportunity just before the tournament to have to go through this, especially with our young kids, because playing in front of a special crowd like this and being at home and putting a lot of pressure on themselves, they didn't hold up as well as they would have liked, and so I think we're using it as a learning situation for us. Hopefully we can take this and really get them focused for the start of the tournament, but we really have to beat Cal on Friday, because it would be a shame not to get a part of the conference championship in the last weekend. So our whole focus now is to get ready for Cal. Tomorrow we have a couple of events. We're going downtown to serve Thanksgiving meal to some folks that are not as fortunate as we are, and then we're going to come back and have a short practice, and then we're going to have all the friends and family of all the players here in Founders and have Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody's bringing something, and we're going to have a Thanksgiving dinner, so that all the traditional Thanksgiving home dinners, we try to make that work for everybody, because it's hard being away from home and always doing things with your family and that sort of thing. So we're trying to do all of this stuff. It just seems like it's maybe too much, and with studying and traveling and all of that, but we have to try to do it, and then get ready Friday for Cal at 4 o'clock. So I just thought the match was a struggle for both teams tonight, and credit both teams for battling. I mean, it would have been very easy to give up on yourself after you make several errors, and yet everybody just kept battling back, and I don't think we ever did get in what I would call a comfortable rhythm. So I think that's kind of on us, and I think the Bruins had something to do with that, and um, maybe some of our young kids felt a little pressure, but um, I think this is a great experience for them, as long as they don't start thinking they're responsible for us not doing well tonight. So, when the team wins, everybody wins, and when the team loses, everybody loses, and that's kind of been our attitude with these guys, and they're pretty upset in there, but can't waste our energy on that. We gotta move forward, and the real tournament starts next Thursday and Friday. So we just want a part of the conference crown, and so beating Cal is very important to us for Friday, and then we'll turn our attention to the television on Sunday to see what the draws are and where they send us.
Would you say that the pressure you talked about is something that affects like your offense from moving around as much as it has been in the last couple games, and then kind of affecting your rhythm, like you said?
Well, we haven't been really in good rhythm for a couple weeks, and I just feel like that's fatigue. And, you may have been here when I talked about this early in the year, that when you play this kind of system, this is what happens. So you have to play off of your defense, and your defense keeps you in the game and allows you to finally get back in rhythm. And for the most part, I thought they really held their composure and battled, and they could have, there were several mistakes that are very unusual for us to make that happened tonight, and it could have upset them more than it did. I thought they stayed right with it, and I thought they stayed with the system, trying to run it. So I think for our sake, we wanted to go through this and still win, but sometimes when you lose, then you know the result when you don't get it before the end of the set, or the game. So I told them in the locker room, I thought, we're okay, and we're going to be okay. We just have to keep our chins up and keep focused and not lose any confidence here.
For the two players, I just asked the coach, did UCLA show you guys anything different? They look like they played small, and one of the reporters said, they're going small. They took out their big player, and did that bother your game?
I mean, they were running a lot of 1 foot, and we just had to get used to what they were doing, which took us a little longer than normal. I just didn't feel like we were really in rhythm the entire night, and we weren't gelled together. But eventually, like in the 4th set, like that's normally what we do. But I don't think they really showed us anything different. It was more on our side of the net.
Yeah, I would have to agree with what Taylor said. I think it was just our rhythm, and I think we kind of could control the game, and there were some moments where we just weren't in good rhythm, and that messed us up. It wasn't anything different that UCLA did. I think our coaches prepared a great game plan for us, and we were all prepared pretty well, so I think it's just mental.
You have senior day coming up. What do you have to do to kind of send these seniors off in the right direction?
With a win, definitely, for sure. A defining win. I mean, that you can't get any better than that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sam and Alicia are 2 of our top point scorers, so we're going to be really sad when they leave. But, I mean, yeah, like Taylor said, a win would be amazing for them, and I think that's the best way to send them off for sure.
Ladies, with the fatigue settling in and the injuries kind of taking place, how do you guys rejuvenate yourself before the NCAA tournament?
Just knowing that our season is on the line every single game, and knowing that it can be gone in a second. So we have to push through that fatigue and push through those injuries. It's going to happen to every single team. Every single team has played the same amount of games, has battled the same amount that we have. So, I mean, we just have to get through those things.
Yeah, I think just spending the extra time also with our trainer and making sure we're taking care of our bodies, going in early if we have to, and yeah, just working with our trainer and stretching well before practice, before games, mentally preparing so that we don't make any mistakes during our game. So.
You guys talked a little bit about being out of rhythm. Is that a communication thing? Is that a focus thing between you guys on the court? How would you kind of describe it?
It's a little bit of everything. Like you said, communication, focus, the relationship between the setter and the hitter, between the passer and the setter. It's everything. It looks nicer when everything's in rhythm and you can feel it. I mean,
It's more
Yeah.
of a feeling.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
something you feel
Yeah.
for sure.
So when you don't have that, it kind of drags down a little bit, and you have to really fight through that.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest things is getting back in rhythm. Like Mick was saying, like we were out of rhythm definitely that game, but in the 4th set, I mean, you could tell we were all communicating well. We were all staying together. We were the setters were doing a great job. Passing was a lot better. So everything just kind of clicks, and you definitely can tell when we're in rhythm.
I guess just at least from you guys had 12 blocks, 12 team blocks. Were you guys reading UCLA differently at the net, or what kind of do you think helped you guys get there, those 12 blocks?
I think all four of our outside hitters did a great job setting up the block, and just knowing the hitter's tendencies helps a lot. Like, they hit a lot of cross court, so setting the block inside a little bit more and kind of letting Taylor know, like, oh, they're going to go sharp, and she stays up a little bit. So it's just the communication thing, I think, helps the most.
And how helpful is that for you, Taylor, when you have your team blocking?
When my team blocks, it's extremely helpful. They're such a big presence at the net, and they're feared at the net by the other hitters. So it's definitely helpful with the back row to read around them, and they bail me out a lot, and I bail them out. Yeah.
Coach, how's this team feel? I mean, you've only lost 2 games, but how do you feel that they respond to adversity?
Well, I think we respond pretty well to adversity. I think I said this before. I thought I was shocked that when we lost to Washington, that we seemed to be unsure of ourselves. I don't think we'll be unsure after this. I think we know what we have to do to get back. I don't think anybody questions whether we can do this or not on our team. It's just a matter of getting back into practice. You know, we've been going for almost 3 weeks with only 1 or 2 practices a week because of our travel schedule and that sort of thing. And that's kind of death to this kind of offense that we run. So I kind of expected this earlier, honestly. I'm sorry it was tonight, but really, it's not a surprise to me. I think teams that play this quick will have those kinds of situations from time to time. Our national team plays this system. They went through the World Championships and won, I believe, 9 straight matches, and then the 10th match they got blown out 3-0, and they just dominated everybody. And they played 3 matches a day off, 3 matches a day off, 3 matches, and so they were tired too. And I think if I can get the players to understand that this is not unusual, that you just have to fight through these kinds of things and reduce your errors as much as possible and still be able to score, then we're okay. We're ready for the tournament. In fact, we have an advantage because we've had to fight through something like this. You know, it would have been nice if we would have won, but I kind of think this could be good for us.
I'll take one last question.